With a lot of bills to pay in the UK, having a side hustle or a second source of income becomes more of a necessity than a choice. Come to think of it, from your water bills to your light bills to your gas bills, the list is endless, and so are the bills waiting for you to offset. They are endless. But if you have a side hustle or a second source of income to supplement your 9 to 5 or your permanent job, then you just might be doing yourself a favor. In my experience, I've compiled 5 skills that would earn you extra bit of cash here in the UK. And that's exactly what I'm going to talk about in this video. So stick around, let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Shinaza and I'm happy to have you here. Thank you so much for stopping by. Alright? Now, the first skill that will earn you extra cash when you come to the UK is hair making. Yes, hair making. Now, talking about hair making, let me tell you a story. When I was about coming to the UK, my mother said to me, Chinaza, go and learn how to make hair so that eventually when you come here, you can be able to make your daughter's hair. Because she may not always have the time to go look for a place or go to a salon to make their hair. At least you can be able to make your daughter's hair when their hair gets old. And I was like, oh, mommy, don't worry, I'll be fine. Come on, you worry too much, I'll be fine. I'll always find a salon that I could take them to make their hair. So don't worry about that. Guess what? Just 1 month after we arrived here, I realized my mother was right. My daughter's hair became old and it was time to get a new one, right? Now, I didn't know anybody that knew anyone that knew someone that could make hair. So I was stuck. I didn't know what to do. I had no option but to just see what I could do to their hair because their hair was looking at me and I was looking at their hair and I was nothing I could do about it. Luckily for me, I had come to the UK with attachments and wool and stuff like that. So I was like, I just have to see what I could do with these things and see how I could fix my daughter's hair because I cannot leave it that way. And that was how I made their hair. Just did something on their hair. Why am I telling the story? Assuming I could make hair, it wouldn't have been a problem for me. It wouldn't have been a challenge for me. I could have just easily got their hair sorted out, but I couldn't, and I was stuck. Now, if you can make hair in the UK, then you're in luck. And if you've got the skills and you're not making use of it right now, I see no reasons why you shouldn't. All you have to do is to let people know that you make hair. It could be your colleagues at work, it could be your church members, it could be your friends. Just let them know that you make hair, that whenever they need hair services, that they should let you know that you make adult hair, you make children's hair and stuff like that. And that's how it is. Whenever there's a need for someone to make hair, you're going to be the first person to come to mind and you're going to be contacted. And that's just how it starts. Okay? Remember, the goal is to make extra bit of income that could supplement your 9 to 5 because trust me, these bills are not smiling. You just have to pay them. You don't have any choice but to make sure you pay your bills. So for me, hair making is a goal. It's a very big goal. So obviously, as you already know, hair making doesn't also come cheap. Okay? So if you've got a hair making skills, please put it to work for you. Alright? Now let's go over to the second skill. The second skill that will give you an extra bit of income here is party planning. So these days, people are beginning to be more socially, alive or socially aware or socially involved, if I might say. So there are parties that are planned, there are birthday parties, there are child dedication parties, there are naming ceremonies and stuff like that. So whether it's a big party or a small party, the most important thing is that people are going to be involved. People are going to come to a place and wine and drink and make merry, right? If you've got the skill of party planning, you just have to let people know that you plan parties. Okay? You let people know, then they could contact you if there's a need for them to have parties. A lot of people will not even bother, going through the stress of planning parties, going through the stress of getting the food sorted out, getting the drinks sorted out, getting the venue sorted out, and stuff like that. So they will gladly pay you if you know how to do it for them and do it perfectly well. So if you know the skills, if you know how to do it, then you should let people know and you should advertise what you can possibly do so that people can be aware that these are the kind of services that you can offer. Okay, now let's go over to the third skill. The third skill that we're going to talk about today is photography. Yes, photography. In as much as most of the phones that people use these days are of good quality and good camera quality and stuff like that, It doesn't negate the fact that people still want that professional touch, that skill for professional photographer. They still want it for their special days, for their birthdays, for their engagement parties, for their wonderful memories. They just want that professional touch. Okay, so if you're a photographer, you should jump on this and let people know that you're a photographer. Let people know what you do. If it means showing them what you do, obviously people have to see what you do to be able to know if they can actually give you the job. Okay, but then you just don't expect anybody to look at you and know that you're a photographer if you don't tell people, or if you don't show people what you do. Okay, so or you're already in the UK and you're a photographer, but you just don't know whether to start yet or whether to let people know. Come on, what is that camera doing? Those gears doing in your house, just sitting there idly, getting dusty. Pick them up and get them to work for you and make money from it. Very, very important. It's a very lucrative job or lucrative side hustle that will give you a extra bit of cash to supplement your permanent job. So the fourth skill that we're going to talk about today is cooking. Yes, cooking. Do you know there are a lot of people who would pay you money to make good food for them? Who doesn't like good food? No, tell me, who doesn't like good food? And to make it worse, it's a very, very busy world here. People go from work to their houses, from houses to work. There's barely enough time for you to sit down and prepare a very sumptuous meal most times. I mean, most times, or maybe sometimes. So a lot of people wouldn't mind, letting people cook for them and pay them for it as long as they have good food to eat when they are back from work. Okay, so if you can cook, let people know you can cook. Just talk, tell people this is what I do. I can cook 1 week worth of food for you. Okay? And then, one thing with cooking good food, right? When you cook good food, you're always gonna be remembered. People always remember where they ate good food or who gave them good food. It's just that simple. And then that is how your business starts. That's how your side hustle starts. The next time the person wants to have something cooked for them, obviously, you're going to be the first point of contact. Cooking is very, very lucrative. It's a kind of business that will never go out of fashion because eating can never go out of fashion. I mean, we are humans. We must eat to stay alive. Like, there's no two ways about it. We must have to eat. And if you can cook, please, by all means, get paid for what you do. Get paid for what you know. And who knows, your next client might just be a phone call away. All right? Now, the last but not the least skill that we're going to talk about today is makeup. Makeup. Everybody wants to look good, actually. Makeup is huge, okay? It's a very big thing, okay? And a lot of people are willing to pay you money if you can make them feel beautiful on their special days, like maybe their birthdays or their engagement parties or their wedding parties or any kind of event that is memorable to them. A lot of people want to look good. And if they don't have the skill of makeup, definitely they will want someone who has the skill to do that for them. So if you're a makeup artist, why don't you pick your brushes and your stuffs and just start making up already? Pick your stuff, let people know what you do, advertise your skills, let people know what you do. Just talk, let people know. Just say something. Okay? Makeup is here to stay and it's not going anywhere. In fact, new trends are coming out, you know, like every other day. So it's a business or it's a skill that will always give you money if you know what you're doing, if you're up to the game, if you're up to the trends. And yes, please, if you've got that skill, please don't sleep on it. Let it work for you. Let your skill work for you. You cannot have all those kind of lovely skills and be broke. You cannot have skills and be broke. So what's the essence of having the skill in the first place? No, what's the essence of having the skill in the first place if you're broke? No, now it doesn't make sense, does it? Nah, I don't think it makes sense. So if you enjoyed this video, you could like it, you could comment on it, and if you have any other thing to add or if you want to say something, please just do that in the comment section, okay? And before you leave, if you haven't subscribed, click on that subscribe button, okay? So that the next time I post the content here or post a video here, you're gonna see it and you're gonna hop right into this place so that we can have a nice time together. Until my next video, I want you to be happy. I want you to stay positive and I want you to feel good about yourself because you're enough. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Don't even think about it. Alright? See you in my next video. Bye.